Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Today we're talking about Hericium erinaceus, or more commonly known as the lion's mane mushroom. Now, why do they call it lion's mane? Well, if you look at the actual mushroom itself, it has long locks resembling the mane of a lion. And let me tell you, this shit right here will have you feeling the robustness of a lion. It'll have your neurons firing faster than a lion sprinting for its prey. It'll have you feeling like you are the king of your own jungle, because you know why? You are, baby. So, you might be wondering why I'm wearing a robe. There's no real reason why I'm wearing a robe at all. So, let's go ahead and dive into the data and the applications behind this powerful mushroom and talk about some of the potential benefits that it may bring us. But, as always, let's check in with editor Steve so he can roll the intro. Just like other medicinal mushrooms, such as reishi, cordyceps, chaga, and shiitake, lion's mane have been used for millennia in traditional Chinese medicine for a host of different things. In its traditional uses, it served as both a food and a medicine. From what I was able to find online, lion's mane was used in Japan and China to be a nutritive to these 5 internal organs, promote good digestion, general vigor, and strength. Now, in the modern age, when you look up info for lion's mane, you'll see it commonly associated with nootropics and cognitive enhancers, which I'm a fan of. I have a video on that right here that I published a few weeks ago. It's really good. And while lion's mane may have some benefit for the brain and our cognitive performance, which I'm about to get into, I must say that the popularity and hype of this mushroom is real, and it's probably far greater than the research would actually suggest. Just kind of like me in my opening statement, it'll have your neurons firing faster than a lion sprinting for its prey. But that's just my personal opinion. As with most things, they get hyped with marketing. But that's not to say that it isn't legit, because there have been many studies done on lion's mane. Now, the majority are done in animals and in rats, but there are some studies done in humans that showed some positive potential and done in human cells. And for me personally, I do find a great benefit from it. It's great to know that I'm keeping my brain in tip-top shape. I love to mix it in my coffee almost every single morning, especially before a heavy writing day or doing some video editing work. I always dose myself up with some before a shoot as well, just like I did today for this video. And I would list lion's mane as my favorite medicinal mushroom for the great boost that I get from it, followed by cordyceps in second place for its performance benefits. I like to have that pre-workout, which I do have a video on right here. Now, while a lot of people do report positive experiences with mushrooms, some people don't report any effect at all. Everyone is different, okay? And before you implement anything in your regimen that you have heard from one of my videos or from anything on the internet, always consult with your doctor, your physician, your nutritionist. Consult with whoever the fuck you want, as long as they're a professional, okay? So, with that being said, let's get right into the data. To start, I want to go over beta-glucans, but since these aren't unique to lion's mane and can be found in many other mushroom extracts, I'll just hit a couple quick points, then invite you to watch my other videos on mushrooms where I go much more in depth on these topics. Now, beta-glucans are the main psychoactive ingredient found in a proper medicinal mushroom extract, and beta-glucans can actually alter your brain chemistry and change things, such as your mRNA expression, which can have downstream benefits for things like reducing anxiety, reducing depression, or increasing nerve growth factor. Beta-glucans also stimulate or activate our immune system, which can have a host of different applications, okay? They're often used as medicine and are taken by mouth for things like high cholesterol, diabetes, cancer, HIV, AIDS, and they're also given to people who have compromised immune systems. such as people dealing with chronic fatigue syndrome, physical or emotional stress, which is damn near all of us nowadays, or even from things like radiation and chemotherapy. Now, as I said, I go deeper into this topic among others in my other mushroom videos, so I'm gonna end that conversation here and direct you to my other mushroom videos. Someone just knocked.
Hello, delivery for Stephen Ray?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we got a delivery mid-shoot. That's a little weird, but let's continue. Okay, so let's dive into the unique benefits of Yamabushitake, starting off with the brain. Now, some studies have shown that lion's mane mushroom can actually support your brain health by stimulating the creation of two important compounds: nerve growth factor and brain-derived neurotrophic factor. These are proteins that activate the production of new cells and strengthen existing ones, okay? Now, nerve growth factor plays a role in forming myelin sheath, while BDNF increases brain plasticity or neuroplasticity. Yo, sounds great and all, okay, but what the hell is a myelin sheath and what's brain plastic got to do with any of this shit here, Mr. White? Okay, well, brain plasticity, not plastic, is your brain's ability to change and adapt as a result of experience, which can literally help your mind grow and learn new things. Plasticity is the capacity of the brain to change while learning, which occurs mostly at the level of connections between neurons. Now, myelin sheath are sleeves that protect your nerve cells. They are protective sleeves, and they allow your body and your brain to communicate via electrical impulses, okay? If you remove or degrade your myelin sheath, you disrupt neural communication. It looks like most, scientific neuron animations of lightning flowing through a pink web in your brain, kind of like a brain blast from Jimmy Neutron.
Think.
Now, these studies that showed these brain improvements were done in nerve cells and in mice. I want to make that very clear. Since we're on the topic of the brain, some things that are unfortunately common with aging nowadays are different neurodegenerative diseases, things such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Lion's mane shows to have some potential in alleviating symptoms from these diseases. In 2008, there was a double-blind, parallel group, placebo-controlled trial of 30 older adults, I believe in the ages of 50 to 80. 15 of them were given 3 grams of lion's mane tablets throughout the day, while the other 15 were given a placebo. At weeks 8, 12, and 16 of the trial, the lion's mane group showed significantly increased scores on the cognitive function scale compared with the placebo group. The results obtained in this study suggest that lion's mane mushroom is effective in improving mild cognitive impairment. But something to note is that 4 weeks after terminating the lion's mane supplementation, their cognitive scores went back down, okay? So a few weeks after they stopped taking it, it seems as if things may have went back to baseline. Now, this study also showed zero adverse effects from the supplement. A lot of people in the health community online also report increased energy when supplementing with something like a lion's mane, accompanied by reduced anxiety and depression. So I thought about that. If we have better working brains, we have better processing and computing in our heads, which makes sense that we may see things from a different perspective, which can help with any anxiety or depression, right? And it turns out that there is a small, teeny tiny body of research to shed some light on lion's mane's potential in helping with depression and anxiety. For example, in 2010, there was a study involving 30 postmenopausal women. Half the participants were given a lion's mane supplement, it was a cookie, and the other half received a placebo, just a regular cookie, over 4 weeks. Tests at the end of the trial indicated that the women who were given the lion's mane cookie had better sleep quality, significantly less anxiety and depression symptoms than those who had taken the placebo regular old cookie. Though this is the only documented human study on how lion's mane affects depression and anxiety, there was an animal study that had some similar results. This was done in 2015, and they gave mice a lion's mane extract, and the ones given that displayed fewer depressive behaviors and showed blood markers indicative of lower depression than mice that did not have the supplemental lion's mane. Now, it's important to note that in both the human and animal studies, I believe that the researchers primarily attributed the reduction in depression and anxiety to the anti-inflammatory effects of lion's mane. And that's another potential benefit common with lion's mane and other medicinal mushrooms, is that they have very strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties among many other things. One last thing I want to note is that in traditional Chinese medicine, lion's mane was used to help with ulcers or any gut problems, which is interesting because there was a study in mice looking at exactly this, and it concluded that lion's mane extract that they used was that it did have anti-ulcer properties and had a protective effect on the gut. Now, the researchers determined that further studies are needed to determine the actual mechanism and bioactive compounds responsible for this. They couldn't understand why it was working, but I bring that up because it's really interesting to see that even though we don't have as much or as many human or clinical trials as we would like to see with lion's mane, traditional Chinese medicine, they were way ahead of the game, even way back then. Like, how did they intuitively know to experiment with these damn alien-like batshit crazy mushrooms growing from a tree trunk? Like, if I was in a forest and saw this damn thing hanging from a branch for the first time in history before knowing about mushroom or fungi or their potent properties, the very last thought in my head would be, oh shit, let's make a tea out of it. No way, how does that even happen? It's just crazy how intuitively these ancient cultures knew to use these natural remedies. Anyway, in conclusion, I barely scratched the surface of what this mushroom has the potential to do. There are so many other things I could have riffed off about, and if you do a proper search on the internet for lion's mane yourself, you'll see that there's a growing body of research being done on this and other medicinal mushrooms. Now, with no adverse side effects reported, and with the substantial historical record for the traditional use of lion's mane, together with the results of the studies that we have so far, I think we can conclude that lion's mane is a safe supplement to use with potential as a neuroprotective and neurotrophic therapeutic agent in neurological conditions. What the fuck does that mean? It means that it's probably good for the brain based off what we know so far. So if you're looking for a proper lion's mane extract, I'll leave 2 different links below to the extracts that I personally use on a regular basis. They are properly grown fruiting body extracts, not mycelium grown on grain, which is something to watch out for with many mushroom supplements because they do not separate the grain from the mycelium when they package the product, and there's testing kits that you can use to test your mushroom supplements. I use real mushrooms at home, and I like to use this product over here from Alpha Dynamics. It has a gram of lion's mane along with a gram of chaga and a gram of cordyceps in these little convenient packets that are super easy to use and take and pour on the go. The links below for these are affiliate links, not sponsorships. I've been using both of their products for years and have been a customer of them myself. So with all that being said, if you found any With that being said, if you found any value in this video whatsoever, I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down and let me know why. That way I can improve my content for you. If you're this far into the video, hit that subscribe button, and I post a video every single week, so you can stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. If you need anything, leave me a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to get back to you. I will see you guys in next week's video. Have a great rest of your week.